And so my name is Shagun, and we will be having this Palo Alto demo. And this Palo Alto firewall, basically, we all know now Palo Alto, it is like a very well known name in the market everywhere, wherever you will be targeting for the cybersec positions. They everywhere the Palo Alto plays very important role. Most of the market now they are occupied with this name. So this training is going to be focused on your firewalls, number one. So Palo Alto, because they have multiple domains further, and we will be focusing on the firewall side. Other than firewalls, Palo Alto, they have wonderful other security appliances in other domains. For example, they have cloud, they have Prisma, they have AI focus, so everything. But when it comes to firewalls, there is a different domain that is called Starta. Okay. And just giving a brief introduction to myself, and I've been a former trainer with networking since last few couple of years now, and also a fortunate employee from Palo Alto itself, worked on the platinum support. When I say platinum support, it comes to the live troubleshooting of all those cases. So it was a wonderful journey for me so far. And I also welcome all my people from the previous sessions. I thank all of you. And in fact, not just you, everyone, I thank all of you to joining this. And this Palo Alto firewall, believe me, this is not just, it could be very first technology that you are learning in your life. Even if you're not from the computer science background, you are from different one. So if you are targeting to step into cybersec department, so you are at a very good, I would say, place. This firewall, it is very user-friendly, very easy to learn as compared to other vendors. We do have other vendors also in the market. For example, can anyone name all those vendors? What are other vendors who are having their firewalls? In case if you know.
Checkpoint, FortiGate, Cisco SA, Sonic Ball.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Sophos.
Yes, Sophos, FortiGate, Checkpoint, FTD, all these are the firewalls only. So in fact, for me, when I started my career, Palo Alto firewall was the first one that I started to learn with. And my all the previous engineers who are still here in this session also, they might already know like how lovely this firewall is. It could be very simple firewall for you when you start learning about those cybersecurity aspects. Okay. Now let me just share my screen. I'm going to put few things on your notes. Okay. I hope my screen is visible to you. Yes.
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
It is black in screen.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. You should be mistaken. Sometime it's black in color, so it's all right, I guess now.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. So yes, now when we talk about a firewall, number one, how this training is going to be like. So first of all, you will be working on the fundamentals of the firewall. For example, what is a firewall itself? Because now I will be taking an intro part from all of you also. Just let it be in the flow first time for me. I'm really sorry for that. So definitely I will be coming back to individual of you. So first thing is firewall. What is a firewall itself? Yes, all of you, you have to make more interactive, be interactive in the session. Let's discuss what is firewall. Then only I would come to know what is your expectation from this training. And then I will also be coming to know, okay, fine, what kind of audience I do have right now. Okay, so this is what, so what do we mean by a firewall? What do you understand? Yes, anyone?
A security device
Okay.
to enter into any network.
Okay. Yeah, true. This is true. Firewall, you are securing something, so it is comes under your security aspect. So when you say you are securing something, what do you want to secure? So it is like a security guard. Somewhere is a security guard standing outside your building also, let's say. But why you are hiring a security guard? For what reason? Anyone? Let's say this is
a firewall is Murthy, yeah? Okay. So a firewall is placed between the trusted network and untrusted network.
yes. So these are the keywords. Okay, one is called trusted and then another one is untrusted. Okay. Just
And instruct the incoming and outgoing packet.
yep. Just allow me a moment, please. Just a moment, okay? Coming back. Okay, thanks for waiting. Actually, there was a courier for me. Okay, thank you. All right. So when you talk about a firewall, you are number one aspect is you always thought about from security point of view. So what you want to secure, that is important to know also. Okay. So another thing is where you need firewall. I'm at home right now. I'm working at home. Do I need to have a firewall at home, specifically Palo Alto firewall? Do I have to have this firewall at home when because see, firewall means you are working on your internet site. You want to secure your internet traffic, let it be your any kind of traffic, email traffic, your HTTPS traffic, any kind of traffic you want to secure. So same traffic you generate from home also. But do you need firewall at home? This is the main question.
No.
Entry gateway.
Yeah. So in our case, we do have certain kind of firewalls that are already embedded into our operating systems. So these are your endpoints. You can have IDS, you can have IPS also. Anyone knows what is IDS, IPS?
Yes.
So
Intrusion prevention system.
intrusion detection system and intrusion
prevention
prevention
system.
system, right?
Mm,
When it
yes.
comes to intrusion detection system, so detecting means when you detect something that has already entered into the system, then only you will detect it like what it is. Okay.
Mm,
So that is called your intrusion detection system. So how the intrusion detection system does work. So something is called your security signatures, right? So this is called your security signatures. Now, this security signature, this is just a kind of your terminology. Security signature, it is a special kind of a stamp name that just like we all human name, we know each other by names of each other, right? And then this security signatures, this is kind of a specific identification code that is labelized to any kind of virus, antivirus, spyware. So these all are like bad or malware softwares. Whenever they got programmed, ultimately they are the programming stuff only. Whenever they will be programmed by any person and then they will be executed. Once they exploit any system, they always generate something called its security signature so that somebody can detect it. It is like their identification codes. And so IDS and IPS, they both work on your security signatures, what kind of attack it is, in order to analyze that in just short, if I have to say. So these security signatures will always be detected by your IDS or IPS. IDS means a software that is once your any kind of virus or attack that has already been entered into the system, how you would actually, let's say, detect it. When it comes to your IPS, so IPS means still at your perimeter level. It's not entered yet. So you are just preventing it up to somewhere, how maybe you have window defender, you have anything. So here somewhere you do have a system to block it. Okay. So that is called IPS and IDS. But when we say these IDS and IPS, so these are for our endpoints, right? So endpoint, it is like your, what do I say? For example, your laptop, your mobile. So these are called our endpoint devices. So endpoint device is a device where user interact with the system directly in order to access your internet traffic, right? So that is your endpoint. But we do not need such kind of solutions when it comes to your corporate. Corporate means your organizational networks. So let's say you do have your corporate network. So now when we learn about these all firewalls, all these vendors, FTD by Cisco, CCSA by Checkpoint, then your FortiGate, that is by Fortinet, any kind of firewall, these are not for your home. These are for your organization. So what you can imagine, this is my organization, and here somewhere there will be a firewall. Let it be now in our case, it's a Palo Alto firewall, and somewhere now we will be having our internet connection here, so that whatever the employees or audience that you do have in your LAN side, they are connecting through your firewall, and further they are having this internet connection through the firewall. So that means the firewall is the main device there that is responsible for incoming and outgoing traffic. This traffic could be anything. Now, when I'm saying LAN, it's not like all people are using devices and LAN. You might have some, for example, servers also. Active Directory servers are also there. Maybe some internet audience are also using the same server. So you have to manage this one. So whatever the internet audience is coming towards you, you have to have some system that can be detecting, okay, is there anyone is playing, bluffing around you? So you have to detect every kind of traffic. So when I'm saying these kind of traffic, let's come back to the fundamental of computer networks. We do have so many types of traffic. So traffic means what? You can ping somebody. This is a traffic that you are generating over internet. You can go for any website opening. That is also a traffic. You are taking a telnet. You are taking the remote access. That is also a traffic. Can anyone give me any other type of traffic? What are the other traffic that we do have over internet? We are not just doing
HTTPS.
MTP.
Sorry, HTTP, TP.
RDP, SFTP,
Yeah, RDP is also kind of remote, your remote
SFTP,
NTP,
SFTP,
Network Time Protocol.
SMTP,
eh,
NTP,
SFTP, Secure
Yeah.
File Transfer Protocol, FTP,
FTP,
SSH,
SS,
SSH,
SSS,
then
and
what about DNS?
DNS, LDAP.
Hmm.
LDAP is also a
Yeah,
traffic.
LDAP is also, it is a kind of traffic, but it is not mentioned here, but yes, it is definitely a traffic. What about DHCP?
Yes.
So
Hmm.
these are just a few examples, okay? So now if you have to understand what exactly each individual of them is, ping means whenever you want to check the connectivity.
ICMP.
Yeah, yes, so ping, it is a utility based on ICMP protocol is, so that is your
Hmm.
traffic. HTTPS means, what do we mean by HTTPS? Why you need this HTTPS? HTTPS you need for any kind of web traffic. Clear?
Hmm.
So whenever you want to have, for example, you want to open HTTPS :www and let's say abc.com. So this is how you normally our web traffic would work. So HTTPS means now what is the fundamental behind this web page? What we are doing here. So there are some elements, okay? Number one, how you generate it. You will go to the Google Chrome. We know very well. We will be using it as a tool for every, now let me tell you one thing. For every kind of traffic, you will use a tool first. First identify tool. Now in ping, you can't execute ping in air, right? You have to have a tool where you will execute this command. What is the tool over here?
Command prompt.
CMD.
CMD is the tool here. So what about HTTPS? Your
Browser.
Browser.
Any of
Chrome,
the browser.
Mozilla, Internet
Mhm.
Explorer, Safari, these all are the tools. Okay.
Mm.
Similarly, for your telnet, RDP is the tool, SSH is the tool, PuTTY is the tool. So these
Yes.
all are the tools only. Ultimately, for example, if I, let's say, if I have to buy shoes, I have multiple brands. I can go for Adidas, I can go for Nike, I can go for anything. But ultimately, they are what? They are shoes only.
Hmm.
Okay. So similarly, you have a traffic. Telnet means remote access. You want to take the remote access. So what are the tools you can use? You can use for PuTTY, you can go for RDP. So these are the way how you can get it done. But what it is that actually you want to get it done, that is called a service. Okay. So now these are different kind of services. SMTP will be used for your email services. For example, you want to send email, receive email, just like now tool. talking about tools, you can have Microsoft, you can have your Gmail, you can have Yahoo Mail, any mail. So, but how the mail will be processed, that is a rule, that is a service that SMTP will be responsible for. Then it comes to your NTP protocol, network time protocol. Whenever you have to set the time on your security appliances, on your network devices and everything, you have to have a tool for that. So those tools are network syncing tools. So time syncing tool, you can just, but the protocol is NTP for that. FTP means file transfer protocol. What is the difference between this and this? Because we are also transferring the files over internet by using Internet Explorer also. Then why we have to have an FTP? What is the difference between HTTPS and FTP?
FTP is UDP.
See, FTP means securely we can transfer the files.
But here also we are very secure. We are over SSH.
In a local system, in a local network system, we use FTP to transfer files, and HTTP is over internet, I guess.
Okay.
HTTPS is for websites.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for web
HTTPS is
traffic.
for browsing the sites, or an FTP is used for transfer the files from one
In
system
a
to
local
another
network,
system.
we use like
Mhm.
FTP to transfer
Yeah, and
files.
HTTPS we are using for browsing the site. If we want
Okay.
to browse the Flipkart, so we have to use www.flipkart.com. So this can use through HTTPS, and with the help of FTP, we can transfer the file. We cannot browse the file.
Okay. FTP, now people who are very new, let me tell you one thing. FTP protocol we normally use whenever, let's say, I have a router. Then let's say I have firewall, or let's say I have a switch also. Let me just have a different icon for switch. So these all are your devices. How these devices are working? They will be waiting. They will be needing your instruction in giving them how to work, how to behave, how to filter the traffic, how to process that traffic. In technology, in computer networks, we call it configuration. So you configure the device first. According to your configuration, they will be working accordingly. It's very simple rule, right? It is like somebody is you calling just your architect to build a very good house, to give a map. So whatever you will be saying, they will be waiting for your instructions, and they will be making the map for you, right? Same thing, even let it be your router, let it be your switch, your firewall, whatever you are configuring them, they will be working them. It's not like automatically they will start applying their mind on their own and they will start working on the internet traffic first go. No, not at all. You have to first configure them. So now let's say every device, there will be a configuration file. Most of the time on security appliances, it is in the .xml format. So now let's say I was working very well on my firewall, but all of a sudden this firewall went crashed. This is crashed now. What about my configuration? I'm going to lose my configuration now, right? So normally what happened, FTP protocol dedicatively used to have these all configurations saved somewhere separately over the server that is called your FTP server, where you do not have any other kind of traffic. HTTPS means open traffic, everything over internet. You can go to YouTube, you can go to any website. So that is full internet traffic for you. You can buy, you can shopping, you do shopping, you apply for your visa applications, every single thing you can access through internet. But FTP, it is not like that. FTP is only responsible for your mainly configuration files. If you lost anything, it will come, you have to contact your FTP. If similarly, other than configurations, you do have licenses. Okay, so these licenses are also saved on your FTP servers. So FTP servers are responsible for your configuration and license features, not for anything else. So that is the main difference between your internet and FTP. They are very, very specific about what they want to do. SSH means, now we do have two kind of telnet. One is clear text telnet. Another one is called your encrypted telnet. So clear text telnet means RDP or normal telnet. SSH means your encrypted telnet. Okay, so once you will be in the session, we will be going through those Wireshark captures. You would come to know what is the difference between clear text telnet and encrypted telnet. Encrypted telnet, whenever you will be using PuTTY as a tool, so you will be giving your to whom you want to take the remote access of. There will be an IP, there will be an IP here also, on RDP also. Both the tools will work exactly the same way. But the problem is, if anyone will be using Wireshark, it is a network sniffing tool that normally we use to capture whatever is traveling through your wires. Okay, it will be capturing everything. So this Wireshark, if you will capture one day, and if you are using this telnet, now telnet, whenever we connect, let's say I'm going to take the telnet from from this audience, from anyone, let's say Akshay's device, I want to take the remote access. So what I have to have the IP for his device. Okay. In that case, if I will be capturing my packets, so under Wireshark, it will be asking me, not under just Wireshark, that is the process of how telnet does work. You have to give a username and you have to give a password. Okay. Under this username and password, now whatever these details you will be giving, Wireshark will be capturing them as it is. Once you are using a normal telnet, anyone can capture it and anyone can repeat the same username and password. So in that case, Akshay's device is going to be compromised indirectly over the full network audience. Anyone is able to take the network now the access. So that is a drawback of telnet. When it comes to SSH, it will be not human readable format. It will be totally encrypted. You won't be making any sense out of it, what it is actually written. So that is a difference between your, what do I say, encrypted telnet and clear text telnet. Okay, so hope in this demo, I can only give you few things that will be the part of your training. So these are network fundamental basics, by the way. So similarly, your DNS traffic. DNS traffic, we being as internet users, we never generate any DNS traffic. It automatically gets triggered. Okay, so this DNS traffic will always be needed whenever you open any website, whenever you browse any website. So DNS means you need to have exactly the IP of that website. Reason is why your computer system, your laptop, it is a computational device. At first place, you have to understand this thing. It understands the language of numbers. Okay, it does not know what do we mean by Shagun, what do we mean by Palo Alto in written format, nothing. What it understands is, it understands everything in the format of numbers. It is a digital device. Now being numbers and being digital means now in here, the numbers will be all 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So this is what the language of your computer is. And it is not going to change the language even if comes to internet traffic. Internet means any traffic. Okay, so if it is 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, so now it will be talking everything. It has to have in format of everything in numbers only. Now, if you are trying to go to www.abc.com, now your computer does not understand what is ABC. So it will fetch IP address. And every IP address would look like something like, for example, let's say we are going to have DNS IP of your Google. So this is my IP. It will be in 4-octet, 32 bits, right? Every IP will be then getting converted into 0101, that is your 32 bits in numbers in binary. And then later on, your DNS server will automatically give you what is the IP. My question to all of you is, specifically people who are from very beginners stage, who give you the idea of where is DNS? Who will tell you where is DNS? Because I said explicitly, I will never generate any kind of DNS traffic. Now, who will tell you where is the DNS? If it is getting automatically done, how it is being automatically done? At least somewhere you have these settings, you know, like where is my DNS? In the air, again, we cannot go blindly shots, right? You have to just go for that DNS server first. Where is the DNS information in our computer system? Where do you find it?
On command to by command of IP config.
Yes, you can, if you will be checking under CMD, under checking IP config, it will be giving you. So, but that will be showcasing you if you have DNS or not, but how you configure. So DNS will,
ISP.
yeah, so DNS will be always configured under your TCP IP properties. Normally when you give your IP address settings, remember, whenever you give any IP,
Yes, ma'am.
statically or dynamically, So you have to give something called your DNS, primary DNS and secondary DNS. Also, not just DNS, you always give your DHCP IPs also. So that is already configured thing, but it is not pre-configured. If you are statically giving any IP to your system, then you will be giving DNS and DHCP IPs also. So that is how these things would work. And then similarly, LDAP. What do we mean by LDAP? Yes. Ritik, you should answer because you have already finished labs for LDAP. What is LDAP?
LDAP is a way of authentication from the from server to firewall, by which the users are in the AD can directly log into the firewall.
Yes. So now let's get into it. Let's say this is my firewall, and this firewall, what is the function of this firewall? We know to filter the traffic, to packet filterization. So filter what? Filter all those traffic type, right? So this is what main job. How I will filter the traffic? For that, you have to configure your firewall first. When you want to configure the firewall, how you configure? You always take the management access. We normally call it user access, because a firewall, it is just like an iron box for you. Just the same way you do have your hair dryer, just like that, you do have your firewall also. You have to configure your firewall. There is no way. You cannot open the firewall and then somewhere the cabling you have to adjust. No, you have to take the remote, you have to take the user access of the firewall. It could be in two ways. You can take the CLI or you can take the graphical user interface. CLI or GUI, anything. Okay. So that whenever you are not generating any kind of traffic. You are just logging into your device, logging into firewall. So in Palo Alto firewall, this whole responsibility, your firewall is divided into two parts. One is called your management plane. Another one is called your data plane. Management plane is responsible for any kind of logins that network admins, any person. Now, again, coming back to fundamental and terminology wise, people who are again in the very beginner state, people who will be doing the configuration of your security appliances, let it be your router, switch, firewall, anything. First, they need to log into the device. So they all are called as network admins. So we call them admins. Okay. If any admin wants to log into firewall in order to configure it, so that login can happen through either CLI or GUI. So this is the way. Then only you will come back to this data plane, means the actual real traffic. Now, the traffic that we were talking about, HTTP, IP, IPsec, VPN, then your ping, anything. So this comes under your data plane. And this is very specific to Palo Alto only, not in all the cybersecurity appliances. In Palo Alto, we do have two planes on firewall. One is called your management plane, another one is called your data plane. So you will be taking the user access, you will be configuring them. Let's say you want to take the GUI. How you take the GUI? Normally, so you will be having this interface wherever you will be plugging the cable here. This guy will be having, okay, let's say if I want to connect, let's say this is my Ethernet 1x3 and this is my Active Directory. I am having my AD server here connected. How they are connecting with this one? If this guy and that guy, they both are connected to each other through some wire. Wire means there is one IP, there is one IP, right? If this guy is having 10.0.0.0.1, okay, so what will be the IP over here? That will be in the same network, right? It might be having 10.0.0.2. Anyone is having doubt why it is 10.001 here and why it is 10.002 here?
No.
Okay. Can I have 10.001 IP here and 20.001 here? Is it possible?
No.
No, it is in a different network. It will not communicate.
Yes. In normally, what happens? Let's say if I'm standing over here, okay, and if somebody is also standing over here, normally what happened when in childhood, we used to play one game, holding a thread with each other, and we were just talking to our friends in childhood, I'm talking,
Right,
right?
right.
There was a game. So this same cable you can resemble here. Two entities, two devices can be connected with each other. We call them directly links, directly connected devices. If this is the directly connected link, if I'm saying I'm holding a red thread in my hand, what about this guy? What color thread he is holding?
Same.
Red, right? If it is red, that is also red. Okay. So this means this same logic you have to apply over here now. If any device, they are directly connected with each other in computer networks, they must be on the same network. Clear? It's not like this guy is having 10.001 IP and this will be starting with 20. No, it also be starting with the 10's network only. That is a rule. Clear?
Clear.
Okay, so same thing now, if this guy will be having 10.001, you have to have the IP over here also that will be belonging to anything related to 10's network. Now here comes the fundamental of your IP addressing. If anyone is having any doubt on IP addressing, so you have to come back to me. Reason is I will be planning a specific session on IP addressing only for specifically people who will be very, very new to this firewall stuff and computer science at all. Because you should be having a kind of mastery in IP addressing that I normally I do consider in my trainings all the time. I start from the beginning itself all the time. So there is some rules, regulations. Just like in any country, we have a law, right? We do have our legal laws, how to buy the property, how to sell the property, how to buy the vehicle, and everything is coming under your laws. Similarly, in computer networks, we do have something called RFCs, request for comment. Every single rule, if it is related to IP addressing, it is mentioned under RFC 1918. Okay, so that is just like normally we say in legal 302 means murder. So same thing, RFC 1918 means everything related to your IP address. So you have to have the good idea about IP addressing. How many classes are there? Can I have 10.001 here? Can I have 10.0.10.1? Can I have 10.0.0.500? What is valid, what is invalid? So these all things will be covered under your IP addressing. It's okay, don't worry if you don't have anything, any awareness about IP addressing. We will be starting from IP addressing only, no problem. So audience who will be very beginning, please do mention that you have to have the IP addressing brush up also. So there will be a separate session for those. But coming back to your Palo Alto now, so this guy, if I have Active Directory over here and there are the connections, whatever the real type traffic, whatever, I mean, what we want to achieve, what we want to filter, that will be coming under your data plane. So management plane is actually telling you how to do. And your data plane means what to do. Yes, got the difference between a management and data plane over here? So anyone who's having any doubt, please do ask me. Okay. So now there is no two separate partition under your Palo Alto firewall. It's exactly just a normal firewall. It is like the layers of your security operating system. Let it be any device in the world. It is your phone, tablet, your smartwatch, anything. They cannot work without something that is called operating system. Just like that, you do have operating system for your Palo Alto firewall also. Okay, so we do have your firewall's operating system. It is called PAN OS. So that is called Palo Alto Networks Operating System. So this operating system, why it is needed? So that it can understand, okay, from management interface, if anyone is trying to take the access, that means your firewall will be very well understood. Okay, fine, this guy is taking the user access. It is not generating this kind of traffic. It is just here to configure me. So that who will tell this all thing to firewall? Your operating system. If Ethernet 1/3 is connecting to Active Directory, now your Active Directory, it is kind of, which kind of traffic? Somebody was telling me LDAP. This is LDAP traffic. So now two devices are connecting with each other. That is different thing. That is a physical connection between them. Now the logical, the main idea how they will be working and what they will be working, that is dedicatively assigned to a particular service. So your Ethernet 1/3 and Active Directory, they will be talking to each other in the language of LDAP protocol. So LDAP means you can log in through this also. You can log in through anywhere from the Active Directory also. So Active Directory, it is a kind of server. Normally all the admin usernames and passwords are saved there. Now Palo Alto, it's a very big name in the market. Okay, there are millions of users of the same firewall also. Now you cannot create all those million users on the same firewall. You will be running out of your resources. You will be pressurizing your firewall CPU cycles, your RAM, everything you are going to spoil. Better to have one Active Directory and save all those usernames and password who will be coming and getting authenticated through this one. But how your firewall will be asking, what is the way? So it is just like, take an example. You want to go to doctor and you won't ask the doctor like, okay, I want to buy some shoes, right? There is a way. You know what is the context, why you are here to visit the doctor. So you will be asking only about why you are feeling like to come to doctor, why you are feeling sick and all. Similarly, if you want to go to any grocery, you won't ask, okay, fine, I want to buy a property. No, you want to buy your groceries, so you know the context. Same thing. If it is Active Directory, LDAP is the language, LDAP is the context, how it will be connecting to you. Similar thing, all these things will be telling to you that is your operating system. Now you can log in into, there are two ways. Either you can, there is always something called management interface. You can connect a wire and you can just take the login from here. Again, same logic. If they are directly connecting with each other, what will be the IP address? This guy, if it is 192.168.1.1, what will be the IP of this one?
1.2 or something. I mean,
Yeah,
within
from the
the
same
same
subnet.
network.
So you cannot have, this one is 192.168.1.1 and this guy will be 10.00. So there will be no connectivity, first of all. Having a different subnet means no connectivity. Having the same network means there is a connectivity. Okay, so magically computer networks, even if they are not directly connecting with each other, but if they are belonging to the same network, there will for sure the ways how you will be establishing the connectivity. You know, this is how the term VPN would work. Okay, so now these are few terminologies. Okay, so for example, how we will be taking the user access, what way these interfaces will be working. So now let's talk about some other thing now. Let's say I have switch and I have router also. What is the main difference between a switch and a router? What is the differences? In what scenario you need to have a switch? What are the situations where you might need a switch and what are the situations where you have to have a router? What are
Communication
Which is L2 device
between
and
the
routing
same
is
network.
L3 device.
one by one, please?
Which is L2 device and router is L3 device.
This is L2 device, this is L3 device, point number 1. Okay.
Yes. For
Okay,
the external
so
communication, we use a router.
Right. On switch, first of all, what you will be having in mind. Number 1, let it be your router, let it be your switch. There will be some ports. They are used to connect devices. Similarly,
More ports.
yeah. So here you will be having much more ports. Normally,
Yeah, 48
at our homes, we have electricity extension boards, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it is just like that. It is just like your extension board only. So that means it won't change anything. It will just increase number of cables, number of devices that you can plug with the same plug here. If you have one just socket over here, in this case, if you want to charge your mobile, your laptop at the same time, you cannot do it. But if you will be buying one extension board, now you can have multiple devices connecting to it. Same logic. Switch will not change the way the devices will work. It will just extend the connectivity scalability. Yes, follow me?
Yes.
But when it comes to router, router means it is a roundabout. Anyone loves driving, and you all, in fact, males, you all have much more clearer idea on driving more than me. So here, let's say this is a roundabout. This direction goes to city A. This direction goes to city B. This direction goes to city C and D. Is there anything common between them? Nothing. So if you are here, that means you're talking about A. So that means you are dividing these things now. It is like A side people go here, B side people go here, C side people go here, and D side go to that direction. It is like giving the directions. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So router means very, very specific how these things, how the traffic will be getting directed towards the destinations. Here you are not worried about destination at all, but here you are too much specific about destination. Layer 2 means when we say layer 2, by the way, again, for beginners, we do have something called OSI model. In OSI model, the whole concept of how these devices would work, how your security appliances would work, how a firewall would work, that is the building block. If you understand OSI, there are 7 layers. Layer number 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So what is the 7th layer name?
Application.
Application.
Then
Presentation.
presentation.
Session.
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 Transport.
Transport.
Transport, network, data link, physical.
Network.
Data link and physical.
Physical.
Okay. So whatever we have discussed so far, we were discussing about OSI only. In computer networks, in cybersecurity, in coming years, coming 1,000 and millions years, whenever we will not be here also. So this internet technology will be relying on these 7 things only. That is the power of OSI. Okay. So it is very, very important. You should have a clearer idea of how OSI does work. So this application layer number 7. Now, people from my previous sessions, they will be not too much surprised about the same example. If you people ask me a question like, Shagun, how was your whole day? I said my day was, first half was very hectic. Okay, very, very hectic, but later was very good. When I answered this question, you got my point, right? Like, okay, whatever she's trying to say, but that does not mean I took one scissor and I cut my day into 2 parts. No, right? It is just a concept. Everywhere, whenever I'm saying my firewall is having 2 layers, I'm not cutting my firewall, or somebody they did not cut my firewall into 2 parts. It is just a concept. Similarly, here also, it is just like a system, how the data will be flown. Similarly, here, when I'm saying OSI does have 7 layers, nobody is just saying there is 7 layers. Step by step, you have to go. No, it is just a single piece of software. Just like your Microsoft operating system, it is just also a kind of operating system format. So it is just based upon your programmatically all if then else conditions. It is a logic. So there is no layers between them, but this is 7 aspects of data transmission. When we talk about application layer, we are talking about all those traffic types. We call them services. Okay, so these are your services. When it comes to your layer 6, now let's say, let me pick a random name from out of this audience. Let's say I have Kelvin, right? I'm sending hi to Kelvin on, let's say, Facebook Messenger. Now, where he must be supposed to have the hi? He must be having hi on Facebook Messenger only, right? It's not I'm sending hi on Facebook Messenger and he is receiving hi on, let's say, Insta. So that won't work, right? Similarly, how about the other problem? You are trying to download one file that is coming under PDF format, right? But once you are downloading, it is getting downloaded on your device .xls, that is Excel sheet. That won't make any sense. So this layer presentation, as its name is already suggesting, presentation means the way what is the format. You have to take that legacy. You have to have the preservance on the format also. So presentation layer will be responsible for whatever the data you have fixed. If it is, let's say, your HTTPS traffic, that means you are working on HTTP protocol, or any kind of web traffic, .html pages, .python pages. So you are working on extension thing. So what is extension of whatever the device, whatever the tool you have selected? So presentation layer be much more related to the format of data that you want to process. Session layer. So what is a session layer?
Creating session for the data, like logging. If we are trying to log in something.
Yes,
So
yes, that is data sessions. But why we need to have sessions? Now coming
It
back,
create and maintain the sessions also.
okay. Let's say very big, normal.
like any bank website.
Okay. We have,
Suppose that you are
let's say,
opening the
I have
different tab.
under Google Chrome, I have opened several websites.
Yes.
Website means several
Okay.
tabs. Normally, I am having a very bad habit. Usually I have more than 100 tabs open in every browser. Okay. So now these 100 tabs may be belonging to same website, right? So maybe let's say this is Google, or maybe let's say this is some other website and all. But do I mean when I'm talking to Google, they all will be belonging to the same session to Google? Is it like that?
No.
Different session.
So individual tab of your Google Chrome, specifically on HTTPS traffic, they will be generating a one different session ID. This will be different session ID, that will be different session ID, and so on. Why separate? Because let's say here I'm trying to open Google Maps. Okay, here I'm just trying to search paloaltonetworks.com only. Here I'm trying to have my mail, Google Mail. And on this side, I'm trying to open YouTube. So these all are different traffics. If you will not maintain different session IDs for them, if you are raising the request for map, it may come over here also. Answer can come here if you will not mixing, if you will not be having separate session IDs. So it is very important, even if you are talking to the same server for every single thing, there will be 3 session IDs generated for you so that they cannot be mixing with each other. So in Google Map, it is not like tired and he is just sending the reply on Google Map here and your Palo Alto here and all. No. So these devices are programmed in very efficient manner. So they will be working on these session IDs. Now session ID is again what? It is again a kind of number. I already told you, your device would understand everything in the language of numbers only. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so Sachin is asking me, each of these session will have different source port. Yes, definitely source port. Now, when we say session ID will be created on 2 aspects. One is called your IP address. Another one is called your port number. So always your session ID will refer to these 2 things.
Yes.
Yes, in case I'm just going to give all of you, I'm trying to keep all of you in the same page so that if people who are from non-computer science background also, so they can just understand what they will be expecting from this kind of courses in future also, or in this course also. And in Palo Alto, now let's talk about very specific things. So this is what we have to know. We will be covering, I will definitely be going. Again, I'm requesting all of you, if you will be getting registered for this course and all, if you are in a beginner level, so please let the team know, like you want to go through the beginners, course. People who are already at some level, so it's okay, they can go for the other stuff. But if you are beginner, please mention you are a beginner. Okay, so it will giving me a direction how to take your batch. Now let's about your firewall. When it comes to Palo Alto firewall, so Palo Alto, I already told you, there are 3 domains for them. One is called Strata, STARTA. This is all about your firewalls. Okay, so this is firewall. Firewall could be hardware firewalls. Firewall could be your software firewalls. Under software firewalls, now we do have cloud-based firewalls also. Anything, it is called VM-based firewall. Any firewall could be done. So whatever we will be learning, we will be having our own lab set up by Networkings. So we will be having your VMware-based firewall. So we will be learning over here. Recently, we do have the most recent PanOS version. So normally, very well working is one is 11th. So it is not deployed all over the world yet, still under process. But the people who are already on the advanced level, they are having PanOS 10, and we are very updated with that also. We are having PanOS 10 version only on our labs. So this is already working. And now again, so this is first division of your Palo Alto. Second division of Palo Alto, it is called A Focus. A Focus means everything related to AI, how AI is helping them to detect these threat detection, your AI referring to if any user of the firewalls, they are having some issues, they are making some security policies, but those security policies are not working as per the configuration. So there is a bug, right? There might be a problem in the operating system. How you will be notifying? So A Focus does work on that. So that is called Wildfire. They have their own systems. Third one, it is called Prisma now. Nowadays, most of the people into Prisma. We will also be starting the Prisma course very soon after maybe October or November. So most of my engineers, they have already requested, some few of them still sitting here also. They are waiting
Yes,
for the
I'm also looking only from you.
Okay, thank you. So we will be going for the Prisma maybe in the coming month, maybe in November itself, we will be hitting this Prisma thing. So these all things will be there. So now Palo Alto means number one, this is it is not just a firewall, this is called next generation firewall. Okay, firewall we now understood, okay, fine, firewall's main job will be to filter the traffic, whatever the traffic is coming and going through. So it will be filtering the traffic based upon certain kind of policies. So you will be learning through all these policies, how you have to connect, how you have to disconnect, how you have to deny. Second thing will be now if I'm saying, I'm giving you one idea, all of you, this is my LAN, let's say, I'm talking about a company environment now, so do not get confused with your home. This is my firewall, here somewhere is my WAN connection, WAN means internet connection. I want my LAN users, what happened? Okay, so let's say I want to have my LAN users, whatever they are.
Ma'am,
Yes,
can you go back to previous slide again?
previous slide I have deleted.
Like the three types: Strata, A Focus, and Prisma.
Let me check if I can do it.
Can you explain it once again?
Yep, this one.
Hmm?
Okay, Strata means all about your firewalls.
Hmm?
You will be having your firewalls here all the way. Any firewall, for example, hardware firewall, we have hardware firewall starting from PA 200 series firewalls. If you are working on VM based firewall, it is a PA, VM, 50, 100, 200, these all are the firewalls. So this is what we will be doing under Strata, and you are the part of this one. Okay, this training is the part of Strata group. A Focus, A Focus means threat detection, threat hunting will come here. Prisma means all about your cloud. Believe me, this Prisma, okay, one more thing I want to tell people, in fact, who are motivated for Prisma also. For Prisma, there is a prerequisite. For Palo Alto to joining for this firewall, there is absolutely no prerequisite. From my side, people who are again from my previous sessions, they already know how much biggest fan of Palo Alto. So whatever it comes along the way, there is no challenge, is a big challenge for us to understand Palo Alto. This is like that kind of sweetest firewall that I have ever learned in my life. So when it comes to firewall, absolutely nothing you require. You only need to have the desire to learn Palo Alto. Second thing comes to your Prisma. Prisma, it is like the future. I would all say people who are already done with the Strata firewalls, your Palo Alto firewalls training, please focus on Prisma now, because Prisma, it is the future, right? After 2-3 years, 2-3, maybe 5 years, everything will be shifted to Prisma. So Palo Alto, they are doing very great job in Prisma. So now, whenever we talk about this Prisma, there is a prerequisite. You must be very good in startup. So that means you have to have very good knowledge about your firewalls. Then only you can go here. Otherwise, the direct entry, no, you will be wasting your time. So first understand this one. And when it comes to experience, so people to whom I train on the floor also under my own company. So normally once they will be experienced from 6 months onwards or 1 year onward, then only we actually ask them to work on the Prisma projects, not directly. So for Prisma, there is a prerequisite. For this, there is absolutely nothing, as I already mentioned. Okay, so that is all.
So Prisma is an SD-WAN technology, right?
It will SD-WAN is a part of your Prisma, but it is,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Prisma is basically cloud security, right?
Cloud. Yes. Wonderful. I would say this is one of the biggest hit of Palo Alto. If you are very good in firewalls, in fact, firewall itself is a very good topic to understand here. But if you will be thinking about to move towards Prisma, yes, definitely think about it. It's very good.
And what about CloudGenix?
That is something else. So here we will be Prisma. It will be talking about all those serial lakes and all. So it is like much more. We will have a definitely session on Prisma in very soon. Definitely, I will be having. It is very good technology to go ahead. Okay, so let's.
So in this training, we will be learning about Starta only, right?
Just your firewalls. Just your firewalls. Okay. Okay, now let's say now what will be covered under this training. You will be understanding. I will be sharing. Maybe you might get one brochure also from Networkings. So there will be some topics mentioned. For example, the topic link, it could be your introduction to management plane, introduction to data plane. What is a firewall? What are the models and series of firewalls, right? How to configure them. For example, we say configuration management. And then you will be having policies under to work. Policies, when I'm saying, we talk about your various kind of policies. You do have security policy, okay? You do have NAT policy. If you guys are free, I can talk on Palo Alto whole day, nothing to worry. But in one, it's also difficult for me to tell you everything. So security policy, NAT policy, we do have authentication policies, you do have decryption policies, and so many things, you do have others. And then we do have something called VPNs. We do have high availability. We do have SSL decryption. Okay. And then you do have site-to-site VPN, means IPsec. We will be working on some introduction part to your GP Global Protect as the remote VPN. Everything will be covered. So then what do we mean by troubleshooting? I normally give some sort of troubleshooting live cases, PDF format also, that my own real life cases that I have already worked on. So I just share my experiences on my documentation with all my engineers. So this is like how to work on a case. Okay, if any customer is approaching to you, because after this training, what you will be expecting to yourself, you will be going through some kind of a job. So after this training, normally people go for something that is called TAC position. Okay, so if you are a very beginner, it is called a technical assistant center. People who will be working under TAC, so they will be working on the live cases. Live case means around the globe, if anyone is having some problem. Now, what do we mean by anyone? Anyone means any organization who is using Palo Alto, but they have certain issues with the firewall. So they will be raising a ticket. Ticket will be coming to one of the TAC engineer. And if you are that TAC engineer, the ticket is allotted to you, you have to sort out the case. That is called troubleshooting. So I do cover those troubleshooting steps also, how to do it. Okay. If you are experienced person, you can go for manager stuff, you can go for L2, L3, platinum support, whatever you want. So that is again, experienced TAC only, I would say. So this is what the troubleshooting part will be working on. Then apart from this, again, I'm saying again, if you are beginner level, please mention under your registration that it is a beginner level batch, okay? Not just a Palo Alto point of view, from computer networks, I'm saying specifically people who are very, very beginner from computer networks, mention you are a computer networks basic beginner. People who are beginner from Palo Alto, this is their first firewall, and you all are most welcome. This was first firewall for me also when I started my career. So nothing to worry here, be safe. And this firewall is one of the beautiful, most user-friendly firewall. After this firewall, I won't say you will take much more time to understand checkpoint. You won't be taking too much time to understand ASA. Okay, this is Cisco's firewall. You won't take any time to understand FTD. FTD means firepower, again by Cisco, next generation firewall, right? Now, just want to give you one glimpse over what do we mean by a next generation firewall. So next generation firewall, it is again a type of firewall. Nowadays, all those vendors, they are having their own next generation firewalls. So next generation firewall, when we say, let's say I have my LAN. In this LAN, all my users are there. This is my firewall sitting at the perimetry. Perimetry means at the boundary. And then they are connecting like this. Somewhere there is internet connection. Okay. I want my all LAN users to, they can access Google Map, they can search anything, Google as a search engine that we normally call it Google base. You can search anything from Google, but when anyone is talking about Google Maps, they should not be able to access it. It should be denied to all of them. So now the difference between a normal legacy firewall and next generation firewall will be, when it comes to next generation firewall, you are able to do this. This is called layer 7 inspection, or it is called deep packet inspection. This is the main feature of next generation firewall. Next generation firewall comes under 3 main additional features. That is called your DPI, that is called your user ID, and then third one is, it is called your CTD. Okay. So CTD, content and threat detection, all those kind of virus, antivirus, spyware, malware, everything will come under here, user ID. And then layer 7 means this kind of things are only possible in next generation. How the behavior of your normal firewall will be? Any legacy firewall, for example, Cisco's ASA, that is not next generation firewall, okay? That is just a normal firewall. So any firewall that is not a next generation firewall, either what they will say, like, okay, you want to block Google Maps for your LAN user, fine, we will do it, but they will block full Google, right? You can't even access, you can't even search anything over the Google also. So that is the difference between next generation and non-next generation. In our Palo Alto network terminology, we call it application identification. It is called app ID. Then comes your URL filtering. These are just a few topics that will be the part of your trainings. There are so many topics that will be covered, and you will be getting the brochures for all of them, right? You will be, once you will be contacting Gaurav sir or maybe anyone from the team, they will be giving you the idea. So this is the main idea behind next generation firewalls, right? So you all will be learning this one. And after this training, you can target 2 certifications, which are now demanded in the market. One is called a PCNSA. Another one is called a PCNSE. Okay. PCNSA means there will be exclusion of Global Protect plus some sort of Global Protect is there up to some extent, but there is something called Panorama. Panorama will not be covered here. Panorama, it is like a centralized device. It is like a main person and who will be controlling all your firewalls. If you are a very big organization and you have more than 200 firewalls. So now let's say same configuration, you are working in India, Sweden, UK, US, and let's say any other country. So you don't want to configure your firewalls one by one. What you will do, you will have one panorama. Under the panorama, you will work on a single policy base, right? You will be having a single rule base and you will be pushing all the configuration to all these firewalls. It is like a central management. You will be controlling all the firewalls through a single device that is called a panorama. So these things are not included in a PCNSA.
So it's similar to a controller, right? In SD-WAN?
Yes, yes. And if you are in check, anyone from the checkpoint also, it is like your security manager.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So then PCNSE will cover these 2 things, and PCNSA and PCNSE both are being accepted for your Palo Alto right now. In specifically mid-November to December, there will be too much hiring for Palo Alto. Be prepared for that and try to hit any one of these 2 certifications. Okay. So especially in Bangalore area, there will be too much hiring process will be under the umbrella. Be prepared for that. So that is all about your training. I did not, consider to have too much technical discussion on this demo also. I was trying my best to be equal balanced, so that people who are not from computer science, they must also be understanding, okay, whatever the domain is. So that is all about from my side. If you have any questions, please do let me know. So that
So PCNSA and PCNSE both will be covered in this training, right?
we will be targeting on most of the things. No, this panorama will not be the part of. Panorama is actually being another separate course.
Okay.
So that is comes here specifically. But any one of them is accepted in the market. PCNSE is or PCNSA, anyone you will be asking like, okay, if you are PCNSA certified also or PCNSE certified, both of them are accepted. No problem.
Okay. Okay.
So are we cover the global protect?
Yes, GP I will cover. I will always cover GP in my own training. No problem.